What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Besides the fact that the Saiyan saga happened in the last part, we left off on a pretty interesting note. The biggest thing is that we actually saw some of Beerus' origin. And because of all that, now he's actually going to help in the fight against Frieza. But interestingly enough, there's also another person related to him that might show up in the series, his brother Champa, who is currently being held by the Galactic Patrol. He did betray Champa a long time ago, hence why he's free and Champa isn't, but maybe we'll be seeing him soon enough. We'll be discussing that and more today in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of this series. Anyways, let's pick it from here. With Vegeta still wondering what they're going to choose, Beerus ends up agreeing to the fight against Frieza. He knows that it could be tough, and for all he knows, he might not come out of it alive. But Vegeta's right, now Frieza is a threat to them, mainly because of the Saiyans, so Vegeta still is to blame for that. Had they never came here, well, Earth would have never been at risk of Frieza. But he's definitely going to get suspicious. 3 of the Saiyans went to Earth and ended up dying. Sure, he might not care about the Saiyans, but still, who would have been strong enough to kill them? Especially if someone like Vegeta doesn't return. Interested by the prospect of this fight, and the fact that it seems necessary anyways, Goku ends up agreeing too. The rest of the crew is pretty worried. By the looks of it, it seems like they're going to have no choice. Unless Vegeta returns to the Frieza Force right now, which it doesn't seem like he's going to do, Frieza most likely is going to show up here eventually, trying to figure out what happened and how to stop it from happening again. Maybe this planet is more valuable than he once thought, and maybe the people on it are actually a threat. Perhaps not to him, but his army at least. Vegeta is just as reluctant because he doesn't really want to work with them, but he knows that this may be his only chance to topple Frieza. And he looks at the crew around him. He, Kakarot, and his son. He knows Saiyans and Namekians have amazing abilities, looking at Piccolo as well. And Beerus, he's not too sure of his abilities, but his race probably has some of their own. Beerus isn't really too sure, but he has heard legends about his race. He did have to leave his planet pretty young, and most of the training he has done has been on his own. But he does know some tales about powers that his race can unlock. They have seen his rage boost after all, and almost seems similar to Saiyans in a way. His growth is also pretty insane. But apparently he has stronger powers that he could probably awaken. Who knows though? Are these even real, and how destructive are they if they are real? It's all myths like Vegeta's Super Saiyan thing. But Vegeta's convinced that Super Saiyan isn't a myth. Maybe they're not Super Saiyans right now, but they can become them if they keep training. He looks at Kakarot. Despite being a low-class Saiyan, he still grew to incredible heights. And as for Vegeta, he's a prodigy and he's an elite. Imagine how much potential he has to grow. So with everyone pretty reluctant to work with Vegeta, and vice versa, they start their preparations. Meanwhile out in space, some time passes, and Frieza begins thinking to himself. It's been a while since he heard from Vegeta, and Nappa for a matter of fact. And that other one, Raditz, he hasn't heard from him in like a year. The 3 remaining Saiyans that he knew of are now dead. Or he assumes so. They all went to some planet and never came back. Raditz is one thing. He was kind of weak, and just one Saiyan coming back isn't really too much to worry him. But then Vegeta and Nappa not coming back. What happened there? Of course, he's pretty happy about it. No more monkeys. But he's also still curious. Where did they go to? And how did they not come back? If they did die, then how were they killed? Who killed them? That's the most important thing. Who would possibly be strong enough to kill the Saiyans? As much as he doesn't want to admit it, Vegeta was one of the strongest people in the Frieza Force. Him being killed would be a pretty big deal. What other strong race could possibly exist out there? He isn't too concerned at first. I mean, for him, this wouldn't be a problem. If there is a strong species of aliens out there that he has to eliminate, that's not too big of a deal. He could just do it himself. But then he begins thinking, even if they might not be a threat, if that planet is more advanced than they ever thought, he needs to find out what it is because it might be more valuable than he thought as well. So, not only is he partially concerned about it being a threat, but he's also intrigued. What's the potential for profit there? Back on Earth, the group is beginning their training. It's weird trying to get used to it at first. Vegeta being there. They still don't know if they can completely trust him. Granted, if he does try and act out, they have more than enough people to stop him. I mean, they did it once and they could definitely do it again. And Vegeta has way different training methods than everyone else. He's pretty disgusted by this planet too. Everyone seems so weak in comparison to him, besides a few of the people in the group. How are they so far behind in terms of power? And also he sees why Kakarot started so weak. This planet's gravity is way less than planet Vegeta, only a tenth of it. They don't know when or if Frieza will even show up. It could be within a week. It could be within a few months. It could be never. But there also is another idea. They could just head out into space and go find him. And even better, if they do that, they look at Beerus. Maybe they could try and free his brother. If he is as strong as Beerus, that would be a really helpful person to have on their side. And Beerus does want to free Champa, but he doesn't know how it will go. Can they even do that? And if they can, how will Champa even respond? It seems pretty impossible, going up against the Galactic Patrol. Sure, they might not have the strongest soldiers, but in comparison to where everyone is now in terms of power, they might find ways to stop them. And not to mention, they don't even know where the prison is located, or how to get to it, or how to break into it. And even with all those hypotheticals out of the way, Beerus did betray Champa after all. The details are vague, but Beerus doesn't seem proud of it, and there might be bad blood between the two of them. Even though it was for his survival, Beerus still feels guilty, and if they free Champa, who knows if he'll even want to join them. For all Beerus knows, he might just try and kill all of them at once. Not to say that he's a ruthless person or anything, but maybe he'd want revenge on his brother. They'll keep that idea in the back of their mind, because it doesn't seem like it's too feasible right now. Maybe later on, though, they could find him and recruit him. And it gets Beerus thinking too. Yeah, he might like that. Depending on how it goes, it would give him a chance at redemption, a way to say sorry to him, reconcile with his brother. I mean, they grew up together, escaped together, and they've been together for so long. Maybe Champa didn't even see this as betrayal, but Beerus doesn't like talking about it. He keeps the details to himself. There's no point in airing out his dirty laundry to everyone. Even with all they know about Beerus right now, he's still keeping everything pretty secret. He's very reserved, and slowly he's opening up to the others. And even though he has changed a bit, he still acts a lot like his older self when Goku and Chi-Chi first met him. They actually wondered too, could they get through to Beerus and get closer with him? It might be tough, but it would be worthwhile. Months pass. Everyone's getting a lot stronger. With all this time spent training, and the fact that by now Bulma probably would have made a gravity chamber thanks to Vegeta's suggestions, let's cover some power levels and show how strong everyone's truly gotten. At the top is Beerus. Right now he's sitting at around 900k. This is before he's enraged or goes into Kaioken or whatever. As for Goku, he's not too far behind. Pretty much at the same level. He has Kaioken too after all. So for both of them, this is only their base power. They can ascend even beyond this. And with all the time they've had, they figured out how to work with Kaioken better. They can go up to times 20 by now. And even though it's pretty draining and stressful, it's very useful with that strength. Vegeta's the third strongest. A bit angered that Kakarot's already above him, but still. Vegeta's at 850k. There's a decently wide gap here. The next would be Gohan. He's getting a better handle on his training, and thanks to his natural hybrid potential, he's at a whopping 400k right now. Not as strong as the others, but still very strong in its own right, especially for his age. Beerus has noticed that he has similar rage boosts to him too, and they've both been working on trying to harness that anger. For Piccolo, he's pretty strong, but without Namekian fusion, he's going to be way behind where he was normally, after Namek at least. We'll put him at around 200k. As for the Earthlings, we'll place them in order from strongest to weakest. Tenshinhan's at the top at 150k. Chi-Chi and Krillin aren't too far behind. Let's say 130k. Then there's Yamcha at around 100, and last but not least, Chaozu at around 70k. It has been a few months after all, and even though the Saiyans didn't have the experiences that they did on Namek, they're still pretty powerful here. And pretty quickly, it becomes apparent that this training was worth it. They were still thinking about heading out into space, but they weren't really too sure. It might not be the wisest idea, but eventually, Frieza does end up coming to Earth. One day, news breaks out. There's been a widespread alien invasion. A bunch of alien soldiers going to different cities causing chaos. They're not necessarily destroying everything. Sure, they are killing a lot of people and destroying stuff, but it's not like they're just trying to decimate everything. It looks like they're searching for something, trying to take over first, and they keep asking about someone named Vegeta, some sort of Saiyan, whatever that is, as well as looking for the strongest Earthlings. By now, Frieza's found out what planet they went to, and he's planned this invasion too. First, he needs to draw everyone out. With a combined attack from his army, it should be enough to kill everyone, even with Vegeta there. They couldn't have gotten too much stronger since then, right? And if things are working in his favor, Vegeta's probably dead. They just need to kill whatever strong Earthlings are there. But just as quickly as the invasion starts, it begins getting countered. In one city, there's a baseball game going on, and surprisingly, one of the players begins flying. He goes up into the sky, lifting a hand up, launching ki everywhere, easily wiping out all the soldiers around them. It's Yamcha. He was one of the first to start countering the attack. Far away near Capsule Corp, Vegeta and Krillin are there. It's pretty simple wiping out the Frieza force there, but some of the scouters pick up on Vegeta, and that relates directly to Frieza. So, he still is alive. What, he's been living here? He joined these people? What the hell's happening here? Slowly but surely in different parts of the world, different fighters are wiping out parts of the Frieza force. Beerus is on one of the islands training with Piccolo, and the two of them pretty casually wipe out hundreds and hundreds of soldiers at once. But Beerus looks to Piccolo. This is only the beginning. These are just fodder soldiers. From what he knows, Frieza's army is far more powerful. They've heard directly from Vegeta, but Beerus also knows from experience. He's seen them firsthand. Of course, some other elites come in like Zarbon and Dodoria, but they're also easily wiped out. I mean, even the weakest of the fighters can kill them. Krillin looks up in the sky. He tells Vegeta there's 5 ships coming towards them. Great, they summoned the Ginyu Force. Krillin asks if that's bad, and he says maybe if he was alone, yeah. But even Krillin could probably topple some members of the Ginyu Force. And as for Vegeta, he could do this single-handedly. He points 2 fingers into the sky, shouting dirty fireworks. All the ships explode at once, with the Ginyu Force members falling down towards Earth, then recollecting themselves and flying over towards Vegeta. Goku, Chi-Chi, and Gohan are nearby, joining these two in the city. He says to aim for the green and purple one. They might be the biggest threats because of their powers. Goku and Vegeta each stick a hand out, and with one single ki blast, Goku wipes out Goldo, while Vegeta kills Ginyu. Chi-Chi, Krillin, and Gohan jump up in the air. Jace, Birdo, and Raccoon are confused. They got wiped out that quickly? And before they can even do anything, the 3 of them launch a Kamehameha, killing the remainder of the Ginyu Force. Vegeta smirks. He knew they got stronger, but they wiped out the Ginyu Force that easily. Maybe it won't be that hard countering Frieza. Granted, they don't know the extent of his true power, but they just casually wiped out the Ginyu Force. The rest of the group slowly starts getting together, and with Frieza watching as his army is eliminated one by one, He descends down towards Earth. The group all goes into a wasteland far from the city. They'll restore the damage done later and revive the people that got killed. But thankfully, they kept losses to a minimum. But now with Frieza actually descending down on Earth, Beerus and Vegeta are concerned. That confidence they had before is slowly going away. And right as he arrives, Frieza is pretty angered already. Vegeta betrayed him, and he looks around. His entire army has been eliminated. He could summon more soldiers, but the fact that they did this so easily, he wanted to take over this planet and sell it. And more importantly, he wanted to eliminate whatever threat was here. But whatever, even without his army, he doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He'll do this himself. He looks over to Vegeta and Goku, as well as seeing Gohan who still has a tail. So, there's more monkeys than he thought. And he sees Beerus too. Ah, he vaguely remembers, they wiped out his race a long time ago. And there's a Namekian here too. What an odd group. And as much as Frieza hates to do this, it seems he's gonna have to power up right away. They eliminated the Ginyu Force so easily. His first form might not be enough, and maybe not even his second form. He transforms, instantly going into his third form. It's terrifying and incredibly powerful, but still, the group is confident. With all of them together, they might be able to take him on. Frieza smirks. This might actually be a bit fun for him, and he's not just gonna kill them, he's gonna make sure to torture them. He's gonna savor the moment, and especially his sights are set on Vegeta. The group begins fighting him, and it's not really that terrible at first. With everyone together, they outnumber Frieza, and with their combined power, they might even overwhelm him in terms of strength. Definitely once Goku and Beerus use Kaioken at least. This isn't as bad as they thought. They might be able to finish this right now. But Frieza realizes what they're doing. With their combined might, he's gonna need to transcend into his final form. He commends them. This is the first time he's ever had to use this against anyone in battle. Even though they're scum, they definitely are powerful, but they're stupid to think that they're stronger than him. He transforms, going into his final form, instilling fear into everyone. Not only is his strength amazing, but his demeanor has completely changed too. He knows he's above everyone. He's easily swatting away most of the fighters by this point. Goku and Beerus have to ramp up Kaioken to times 20, and everyone else tries fighting, but it's getting tough. Even with just one attack from Frieza, he's able to knock everyone back and basically incapacitate them. They keep getting up trying to attack, but he moves so fast and his attacks are so powerful, and Frieza begins thinking, who should he torture and kill first? He turns over to Beerus. His time is long overdue. He blames him. Maybe he was the one that tried to turn Vegeta against him. Of course, he always knew Vegeta held resentment for him. But this guy escaped the Frieza Force before. He's definitely been holding this grudge for a while, and Frieza wants to put him in his place. Frieza lifts a hand up. He's surrounded by a sphere of ki that knocks everyone back. He then lunges over to Beerus and starts fighting him individually. Beerus can't do anything. Even with Kaioken times 20, it's still not enough. Frieza's transcended to 50% of his power by now, and he's easily ahead of Beerus. But surprisingly, as he continues attacking Beerus, his ki begins rising, and Beerus seems to start chuckling. What, he's enjoying this? He tells Frieza to keep going, bring the power out of him. Slowly but surely, Beerus is getting more and more enraged, and his power is growing as he does so. Beerus awakens his rage against Frieza. Combined with the power of Kaioken, his strength actually begins overwhelming Frieza at some point. How is this possible? Frieza continues fighting, and it seems the two are dead even. With Kaioken and his rage, Beerus is fighting on par with Frieza. Combine that with the power of Goku and Vegeta on his side, they're actually pulling ahead. Everyone here is a nuisance. Frieza turns over to Vegeta. He sticks a hand out, launching a point-blank blast at him. It injures Vegeta, launching him far away. He then looks over to Goku, grabbing him, headbutting him, and then throwing him down to the planet below. He'll face Beerus alone, not wanting anyone else involved. He powers up even further, then going into his full power. Beerus is growing stronger and stronger too. It's not enough. He contemplates, maybe they can create a spirit bomb. For him, his heart might not be pure enough by this point, but Goku definitely can. But before he could even say anything, Frieza begins attacking once more, and he smirks, laughing maniacally. He's gonna make sure to let them all suffer. He turns over to the group, sticking 2 fingers out. He just chooses at random. A death beam goes right through Yamcha and Tenshinhan. Yes, that's it. Even if he can't kill them, he'll make sure to toy with them. He'll take their friends down at least, and then he'll blow up this planet. That'll be sure to work. Goku slowly gets up. He sees his 2 friends lying there dead. He's still a bit disoriented, but his eyes widen. Frieza looks right at Beerus, and Beerus is barely able to dodge in time, but he launches a death beam at him as well. It goes right through Beerus' shoulder. Frieza chuckles. Now he's down an arm. He hits Beerus with a powerful uppercut, disorienting him. Frieza looks down on the ground. He sees Goku and Gohan standing there. Those 2 monkeys have to go as well, but they should have some fun first. He points a finger at Gohan, and raging Goku as he steps in front of him to protect him. Frieza then smirks. He quickly turns around, launching a death beam elsewhere. Goku quickly tries to jump in front of it, but it's already too late. He dives in front of it and it's already hit someone. He doesn't know who, but he turns around and sees. The person hit by it was Chi-Chi. Beerus weakly looks on. He tries to stop Frieza, attacking again and again. His rage is growing, but he's injured, and he's only using 1 arm right now. Frieza continues beating him up, and then he turns back to the ground. Who should go next? Maybe that Namekian, or that other Earthling, or maybe he could find Vegeta and kill him. But then he notices something strange. He looks over at those 2 Saiyans down there. They're both standing over the body of that girl that he just killed. Goku slams his fist into the ground, forming a giant crater around them. Beerus then feels a slight gust of wind, and then a huge burst of wind. It's enough to even knock him back a bit. Even Frieza's surprised. What's this? Goku and Gohan scream. Their ki shoots way beyond where it was before, and their aura, the red aura of Kaioken, is gone. It's replaced by a golden ki. With one more burst of energy, the two of them power up. Their hair flickers color, standing up and spiky now. Although he's heavily injured, Vegeta begins flying back slowly. He can't give up that easily, and he senses this ki. Kakarot? Gohan? What's with their strength right now? He slowly flies over and Beerus and Frieza look at him, and Vegeta's equally as confused. But then his confusion turns to amazement. He knows what this is. He looks at Frieza. Is he aware of what he just did? Vegeta can't believe it. It's been in front of him all along. Frieza created not only one Super Saiyan, but two of them. Driven by their rage and sadness, both Goku and Gohan transform. But something is strange. Of course, with Super Saiyan comes great anger. But these two aren't just angry. They're enraged beyond belief. They look over at Frieza, with an enraged expression and tears in their eye. This is the end of him, and this is where we'll leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? And what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future uploads on my channel, including more parts of this series. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.